we're going to get into hobby talk, brought to you by Platinum Standard Credit. Thank you very much to the crew there at Platinum Standard Grading for your fantastic work in the hobby. Saucy Lemon of the week. It's your boy, your hero.
Well, he's not the Lemon. The hero
no,
is
he's
not
the
the
Lemon. No, but he's the hero of this segment. He's the reason why these people are getting the Lemon sauce.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, we spoke about him a bit before when we were speaking about NFL. And Domo listed through all the quarterbacks that are better than him. And I'm talking about Mac Jones, right? We knew the absolute pandemonium and hype that was around Mac Jones leading up into this season. People paying phenomenal amounts of money for his rookie cards. And my hero, Johnny Stone, this kid right here,
Yeah.
There he is. He is my hero. He is my hero, Doma. Johnny Stone. He pulled the 101 Mac Jones Prism and he sold it to some lemon for 100,000 smackaroos. Johnny Stone, you are a hero. And to all the Mac Jones investors and people pumping up Mac Jones like they think he's the next Tom Brady or some shit, you are all lemons. Oh, I had a bit of Pavarotti about it, that one.
Yeah, bro, with all the darts that you smoke, I'm surprised you're even able to go that long, mate.
Hey, mate, I got good lungs, mate. I got good lungs. It recovers, mate. That's why, I could go in the sauna for 20 minutes straight, mate. I'm pretty good.
What was his name again? Ronnie Johns.
Johnny Stone. Hang on, mate. I'll bring him up again.
Stone.
That's
mate,
his
the
name.
kid sounds like he's got a freaking
Johnny, be good, Johnny.
Johnny Stones. He's
don't say the other name I'm thinking you're gonna say.
No, I'm not gonna say
Johnny, not Mr. Sins, not Mr. Johnny Sins. Ladies and gentlemen, Google Johnny Sins if you haven't already.
Oh, jeez.
He's a very good actor.
Wow. Yeah, he's very good. He's good at playing a fireman, police officer. He's gone to Mars and the moon. Fucking
He's a good masseuse too.
Johnny Stones. What a gun. What an absolute gun. He's the hero of this podcast because he was that smart. He's a kid. Sauce is that smart, and he's just gone, you guys are fools. This guy is the biggest Lemon. He's a dud, Mac Jones, and you are going to buy my card for $100,000. You guys are nuts. Congrats, Johnny. You've done a fantastic thing, mate.
You're my hero. You're literally my hero of 2022. You are my hero of 2022. Johnny Stone.
Put him up again one more time, Sauce, before we move on. Get him up again.
There he is. I'm leaving that in there so when we can say, the hero's back this week. Johnny Stone, here he is.
Look at how he is.
He should be. He's got 100K cash.
You know why? You know why it's so funny? Because he's so happy, Sauce. Because I just want to see the face of the guy that bought the card for $100,000. That's why.
He does have big stones, Johnny.
He came out with his cojones, mate, and he said, get out of here, mate. Oh, far out. New cover pick, boys, for the page for a few days. I reckon we got to do it. Saucy, put that in the WhatsApp chat, and I'll change our pick. And if he's got a socials account, we'll put a post up. We'll make an award for him. Hobby Person of the Year, Johnny Stones. Gun. All right, let's move on. Enough nonsense from us two clowns. It's had everything this episode because you wait till we get to the the roast of
Oh, no.
Donald Trump style hobby talk in about 5 minutes' time. Here's the Topps Project 2022 cards that have just updated. The new ones, we've got Kylian Mbappe from Aikstub, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang by Dan Layden, which Saul said he's going to buy just to flush down the toilet. Nicolo Barella by Ivan Bezlic. We have Steven Gerrard by Vincent Asio.
Stevie G looks good.
Pretty cool looking card. Too bad it's Stevie
G looks really nice.
And then we got João Felix by Bo Feng Lin. So 6 days, 7 hours left on those. So have a look. So that's that one. Anthony says apparently the guy who bought it sold it straight after for 50K more, but unsure how much truth there is to that. Yeah, it's just funny. It's just good on Johnny Stones. What a gun. Absolute gun. Let's get over to... So that one's done and dusted. Where are we here? I'm trying to get back on track because that threw me. That Le Mans sauce was Pavarotti style. All right. Here's select. Let's have a look at some of these cards. It's dropped today. Comes out today. Pretty sure. Yep. Wednesday 26th. Hobby box. Here it is. 12 packs per pack. 12 packs per box. Sorry, 5 cards per pack. Look for 3 autos or mem cards per box on average. Search for autos of Cade Cunningham, Jalen Green, Evan Mobley, and many more from a deep rookie class. Collect all 3 tiers of the base set, which include Concourse, Premier, and Courtside. Each hobby box contains 12 prisms. Could be silver scope, tricolor, light blue, red, white, neon green, tie-dye, gold, green, black, zebra. Who knows? Astropherical, Galacticus, Macticus. I don't even know. Primary colors. Fucking who knows what they're going to put in next. I don't. Acid trip. That's probably what the next color scheme is going to be. Acid trip. I have no idea, Source, anymore. Search for hobby inserts such as Unstoppable and Fuego, Select Future, and Phenomenal. Here are some of the cards, the designs. Kuminga, Davion Mitchell, Jalen Green, Unstoppable Ja Morant, and Fuego. That card looks absolutely terrible, if you ask me. Anthony Edwards in flight. Jalen Suggs. Cade Cunningham. That patch there looks blurry in the picture because I'm not sure if they're going to remember to even put it in the card source, Panini. So that's probably why they've done that. That's pretty much it for Select. 1,200 Australian a box, I've been told by the Oracle. Talk about a waste of money. $1,200 source for Select. The product that actually was probably worth $1,200 when it was hobby only, but when you turn it into hobby and retail, and it's watered down, probably not worth that anymore, if you ask me. Anyway, if you're interested, check it out. But as Source and I always advise on this show, go buy the singles because it's more worth your while because you could spend $1,200 and get $50 worth of cards in return. Absolute waste. All right, Source. Nash Cards. You want to quickly give them a bit of a plug?
Yeah, I'll give them a bit of a plug. I'm not sure if you've heard of them, Nash Cards. You can look them up, nashcards.com. I'll just show you I'll actually bring up their website, which I have on screen. Show you guys. This is their website. While we give them a shout out, they do SGC grading and PSA grading, but obviously we know there's people, Lane from the Hobby AU does it here in Oz. But if you have cards that you're buying on eBay in the States, sending it to your Ship My Cards, or if you have cards you're buying on Facebook from the States and having it sent to your Ship My Cards, you can actually send those cards from your Ship My Cards to Nash Cards to then get them graded. They also do offer a review service, which I think at the moment it's currently unavailable. So maybe they're a bit inundated with the review service. So there's a message saying currently it's unavailable. Maybe you need to contact them and get in touch and see if it is available. But they offer the grading services. What's great about it is obviously you don't have to bring the cards all the way back to Australia. You can leave them in the States. You can do it all over there. You can even get him to review each card for, I think, I don't know how much he charges per card to do a review, maybe $5 USD, which is fair enough. But at the same time, it's going to save you money from having to, obviously bring it all the way back here, then you review it, then send it all the way back there. So it's a good little feature. Check it out, Nash Cards. We'll give them a shout out. I know they run a really, really good service. And I think Sports Card Nonsense is partnered with them, and they promote them quite a bit. More than happy to give anyone a shout out that provides a good service that allows obviously collectors, especially here especially collectors outside of the States, to do certain things. That way we don't have to spend so much on postage, sending it back to us, reviewing it, sending it back to the States, and we'll save you in the long run. And also, be able to get some cards graded in a timely manner instead of having to worry about international shipping and, international postage costs and other stuff like that. So, shout out to Nash Cards. Check them out, ladies and gentlemen. I'm guessing you can find them on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and their website.
Very nice. Matty Tape says the 1-1 got pulled for Mbappe gold vinyl. Yes, we had a chat about that. The Super Fractor. We spoke about that last week. Global says, what's your thoughts on CSG cards? Just a quick one there, Source. Because you rate them.
Yeah, they're good. They're good.
Yeah.
CSG is a good company. Good company. Been around for a long time. And I think they're one of the very few companies that have a really cheap value service where you can you have to send in X amount of cards. I think it's 100 or something, but you literally get grading for, I think, 8 or 9 USD a card. So maybe in Australian, that's maybe $20 a card, I think.
Yeah.
Around that.
Global says, will we look at doing a CSG sub? Probably not.
There's a lot that goes into it.
We've been burnt so many times. We'd rather keep pushing platinum standard grading, and we hope that people in the group keep pushing that and trying to build them up as an option to grade your cards. Because as we've seen at the moment, whether it's PSA, BGS, CSG, I said SGC, the cards are going down anyway in price. Whether you're subbing the card or the card value, it's all going down. So it's actually getting to the point where the high-end stuff, you should slab with a PSA slab, but as long as the card's protected, you can create your own market in this country for cards in platinum standard grading slabs. You actually can. It's just people don't want to because they're all the name, but you'll be able to trade them and move them pretty easily. So, especially for footy, NRL, cricket, especially footy and NRL. There's that's a little hint for people. CGA cards go for a lot in that space. NRL and AFL. And
they're absolutely shit, I'll tell you that.
There you go. Saul said it. I didn't have to say it, but it's, yeah. So why
can't they don't support the hobby here in Australia. Not once have they been to any of the major shows, and not once have I seen them show face at a show to present themselves as the premium Australian grading company that's been around for 15 plus years, which they love to brag on about, but they don't.
And they refuse to come on the show, which we try and push. We try and push as many Australian. We push Australian collectors, Australian breakers, stores, companies. We've pushed it all on this show. The resume is there. You can go back and look through the archives, and we asked them, and they refused to come on the show. So I don't know why.
Free promo.
Yeah. Matty says he'll be subbing some cards at the Adelaide show. Anthony wants to know if we're going to the Adelaide show. He said he can't remember if he asked. Saucy?
Yeah, I think we are.
Well, I know I am.
Dom has got his flight. I haven't even.
I'm booked, man. I'm booked. I'm booked, and I'm doing the fly in, fly out, baby.
Don't tell me you're on Jetstar. Are you on Jetstar?
No, Jetstar.
Oh, I was going to say, don't do that.
Man. I fly Qantas.
There's a good chance they'll cancel your fucking flight, mate.
I fly Qantas. I think I might be coming home with Jetstar. I don't care about that. If they cancel my flight, I'm just going to go shack up with Matty Tabe for the night. There's my invite. I've got plenty of places I can go. Matty Tabe, Tyson Beck, take me in. Anthony, take me in. You know,
Anthony's not from Adelaide. He's traveling down himself.
No, he's from Adelaide, aren't you, Anthony? Anthony's from Adelaide.
Correct me. Who's right here? Who's right?
I'll probably.
No.
Yeah, he said, "Fuck yeah, there you go, man. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah."
he's from Adelaide. Oh, there you go. Shit.
Don't worry, man.
I thought he's from Sydney for some reason. I don't know
I
why.
sleep in the soccer goals that he's got set up in the backyard. So don't worry about it. Matty Tape said he'll clean the shed for me. There you go. Easy. Not a problem at all. He said you're going to be booking the Glenelg Caravan Park Sauce. Apparently, I don't know what that is. So
I think there's a big event on there or something on that weekend as well. So,
is there?
Yeah, something at the showgrounds. Maddie was telling me.
Oh, okay. Massive. Awesome. All right, let's get into the thick of this sauce because let's try and keep this to 20 minutes. All right. The next couple of things.
Supernova. There you
go.
Supernova.
That's pretty sick. It's awesome. Saucy. It's been going on now for a couple of weeks. Trying to let it subside. A lot more shit's coming out. We haven't made a comment on this. The Oracle almost put me up against the wall, Sauce, mate, with his forearm against me throat, the Oracle, and said, "Why aren't you talking about the backyard breaks? It's the news, Doma. You and Sauce have got to talk about this. You've got to give your opinion." So we're going to give our opinion. And then we're going to talk about some other stuff that's come out. And then we're going to end on flaming a whole bunch of people, which is fine. And Sauce, if he really wants to, he can just go through the list of them, and I couldn't care less because, we genuinely don't care. If you want to be in the sack cards category and block us, by all means, we'd love that. Absolutely froth it. But backyard break, Sauce, obviously they pulled the Cade Cunningham, they pulled the triple logo man LeBron, they pulled the triple logo man Clay, Steph, and Draymond Green card. Then a box that was sold to someone else. Was that the Cade? Maybe that was the Cade. Box sold to someone else. They pulled a 1-1, massive card in it. Cade Cunningham, it was the Black Prism 1-1. And a lot of people, I'll mention their names, AIH, Sports Card Radio, Rahul, which we've had a few DMs with. We're planning to get him on the podcast. Sorry, Rahul, if you do listen to this. Sports Card Radio Twins, yes. They've been pushing this. And our very own Australian, Dan the Card Man. If you don't know who Dan the Card Man is, I'm going to tag him when I put the tile out on socials. Go have a look at his content. He's very informative. He takes a good approach to his content, whether he's in the middle, he sides with one way, but he likes to take information and then form his own argument and opinion, which is very good. You've got to take facts from both sides. So that's just a logical thing.
Which is how you probably should approach most things when it comes to
in life, in general.
You probably should not just side with one puppet over here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you should observe the whole field and then decide which part of the field you wish to stand. All right, that's generally how you have a good discussion and how you're able to talk about things as adults. Which doesn't happen very often these days, does it, Doma? It ends up being you're wrong.
There you go. It was the LaMelo Ball logo man auto in it. That was the case that they sold to someone, the other breaking group. Thank you very much, MP2 Marty. Glad you could help me out there on that one. So anyway, the whole controversy is all this stuff, and it's come out that there's been accusations and allegations, Source, that, and people that are listening to this, that they've got someone on the inside and they're getting loaded cases, and they know that these big cards are going to be in there. And as MP says, they changed their stance and said they were joking about buying it from backyard breaks. They didn't. That's been proved by the accounts that I've mentioned previously. They did buy it off of them to try to distance themselves, but they may or may not have put their foot in it. The problem is they're pulling all these things source, and it's just convenient that they're the biggest, or one of, if not the biggest breaking
I would say they are the biggest.
on the planet. On the planet.
They are. They have 100,000. They have 100,000 followers
100,000
on Instagram.
Yeah.
They have 2,000 subscribers or something like that actually pay for their Twitch stream. So I pay a subscription, I think $5 a month or something, to watch their breaks. So you actually pay money to subscribe to their Twitch. And they have across platforms at time, like most times, having at least 3,000 people in there watching their lives. At times even more, at 5, 6,
Yeah, I've
7,000.
seen 7.5 once before, 7,800. So they're the biggest. The most eyes are all on them. They're doing things that are obviously more out there, pushing the boundaries when it comes to breaking cards, and they do it it's actually in a fun way, the way they do it. But it's just convenient that all these cards have come out, and people have obviously, as we know in this hobby, there's the stance of there's bad things that happen in this hobby, and there's some corrupt things. And I know we haven't spoken about bad things in this hobby for about a month and a half now. We try to move on from it, but then the other side source is, we know there's bad things, but we should never talk about it, because we should always keep the positive, the hobby positive. And our stance, as you know, people that listen to this podcast, if you knew, was, well, if you don't talk about the bad stuff, then how do you educate people on what to avoid? If you gloss over the bad stuff and say everything's kumbaya in the hobby, that's how you rot people, and they get screwed over. It's just common sense. As Saul said, that's what happens when you listen to one side all the time. You don't do your research on good and bad, pros and cons when it comes to an industry. Funnily enough, everyone's backing them up, saying, no, it can't be rigged. Panini, don't send them this. And, they don't know which boxes are loaded. And I'll get to this. They've exploded in the past year. No, they've been around for a while. They were nothing 3 years ago. Yes, correct. Anthony says, I'm not a fan really of them, really, but open 100 million worth of a year of product, and you're bound to hit big hits and much bigger chance of product chases. It's very true. I agree with that. All right. I agree with that. They open a lot, and the odds of them getting that stuff, yeah, it's pretty high. But Sports Card Radio and went in and broke down the numbers, and apparently it's not as what everyone seems to think, even based on the volume that they break. It's too coincidental. You've hit the 3 biggest cards, and the one case you've sent to another breaking company. So the 4 biggest cards are all tied to one breaking company. You know what I mean? It's pretty sus. Anyway, a box of WWE impeccable source hobby got busted 2 days ago, or yesterday, and the person that busted it obviously was filming their live reaction. They got a decent following on IG. I'm trying to remember the name of the account. Apologies to that person. Should probably fact check that myself. But anyway, they're going through it, and he's looking at all these cards. He hits Eddie Guerrero auto source, and he's hitting some pretty nice cards in there. And he's trying to do move the cards to the back. Was it Eddie Guerrero? Yeah, I think it was.
Can't be Eddie Guerrero. I'm pretty sure he's not alive.
No, I think it was. Might have been a sticker. Could have signed ages ago. I think it was Eddie Guerrero. Okay. Maybe it was someone else. Chavo, maybe. Maybe it was Chavo Guerrero.
Eddie Guerrero passed away a long time ago.
I know that. It looked like Eddie Guerrero. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, besides the point, he's opening all these things, and he's doing putting the cards to the back pulling cards from the back to put at the front, so to have the big hit at the end. And he goes and pulls a card, and it's a spacer. And anyway, he pulls out this spacer source, and it has writing on it from the manufacturer that says that the spacer was meant to be replaced with a 101 in the product. So that now has opened up another can of worm sauce, and people are a bit skeptical to be well, if they can put spacers in boxes for where 101s are meant to go, then surely they are tracking 1's. So I don't know what your opinion of the matter is, Source, and what you think. But me personally, before I do throw it to you, and obviously myself, I chatted with Dan the Card Man today about this stuff, and I expressed what my thoughts were, and I'll share them with you now, is 1's are extremely rare. To avoid damage coming off a manufacturing line when they're loading the boxes, personally, I think that boxes get spaces put in them, which I'm using the spaces now because it looks like it's a thing that they do at Panini, and they hand put a 1 card in that box because obviously to avoid damage, to make sure it's in good condition, you got to put it's a 1, and you don't want it to come off a manufacturing line, a 1 card of LeBron going into a box and it gets torn up. That's the last thing you want. So I think they put these 1-on-1s in and these big hits, and I think like those to 10s, the blacks, why wouldn't they go in the box? And why would a box have a serial number on it if the company isn't tracking a serial number of the box? Why does that make any sense? We're going to put serial numbers on our box, but we're not going to track it. We're just serial numbering it because it's this edition of box that's come out. It's like the 1 trillionth product that's come out the door. And all we do at Panini is print, design, pack, ship. And that's all we do for products. That's it. There's no tracking on serial code 1567257 has a LeBron 101 triple logo man. 1765264 has a triple logo man, a Klay Thompson. It's just in the spreadsheet. They know where it goes. It's not that hard. Pretty sure it scans every product as it goes through manufacturing. So it's opened up a bit of a can of worms. It's obviously when you find a space with writing on its source that says a 101 was meant to be in this product, it shows that there's human element to the way the product is packaged. Or else that card wouldn't have been in there. Because the machine's not the machine's not writing on the spacer that a 101 should have gone in the product. It was handwritten by a human, put in there. It was obviously meant to go in that bundle. They got manufactured. The person was meant to check it, go, okay, here's a 101 from the pile. I'm going to pick a John Cena 101, put it in there, and then put it back in, whether it's in the conveyor belt, it gets wrapped up, boxed, and then that's it. It's done. We're good to go. So that's my thoughts. So that they track these big hits. It makes no sense not to track them as a company. So Saucy, your feelings on it? Backyard breaks. This incident of Panini tracking 101s and high.
I will say this. Look, I can't say it's 100% factual or not, but I think there is some sort of fishy business going on by Panini. I think it's a strategic move by Panini to send these cards to backyard breaks because they know obviously the amount of attention that they have in this hobby, and it's really good publicity if they open the card and get that big card because people hate them so much. There's so many people that hate them, and there's a lot of people that like them. But that's obviously good or bad. It's good publicity for Panini. One thing I will say is, Dom, I'm pretty sure they got humans working at Panini, right? And last time I checked, humans generally, when big monetary value is involved, they get a bit of greed about them, and greed gets the best of a lot of people. So I wouldn't be surprised if there is an inside man who's tracking these hits and then knows where those cases are going, so then he can go tell his mates to make sure they buy into every break spot at Backyard Breakers, knowing that you're going to hit a LaMelo Ball 1-of-1 or Cade Cunningham 1-of-1. Doesn't matter if you drop 50K on break spots because you know it's in one of their cases as long as you get that team in every case, right? So there's shifty business going on, and it's not. Look, there's shifty business going on when it comes to to breakers. There's shifty business going on when it comes to Panini. There's shifty business going on when it comes to PSA. There's shifty business going on when it comes to Beckett. There's shifty business going on when it comes to SGC. There's shifty business going on when it comes to freaking any company.
Uncle Ken.
Yeah, the auction houses. There's shifty business going on. There's shifty business going on eBay.
Podcast, double coverage, especially. No.
everywhere you look in this hobby, there is shiftiness going on, right? You just got to sift out the crap. Unfortunately, this is happening, and I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Like, you know, when I asked the Oracle Dommer, who's obviously been in the hobby for 20 plus years, and I said, you know, does this surprise you? And his answer was, for the sake of the hobby, I was hoping it was not true, right? And it's, you know, for true hobbyists out there, I mean, maybe this is really a sad day for them. They had the true belief that everything was randomized by these companies, and when you bought into a break, you truly had the chance to get that 1/1 LaMelo Ball. You truly had the chance to get that 1/1 Cade Cunningham, that 1/1 Mac Jones, or whatever other card you wanted to chase, right? For example. But you don't, right? It's not a level playing field. There's the people in the hobby that are up here and have the power, and there's the people who fund the people that have the power. And that's majority of the other people in the hobby. So, once again, just maybe this is a thing for people out there. Maybe think twice about entering into that break. Maybe think twice. I don't know. Maybe buying singles is better because, you know, if Panini is, you know, being dodgy with their cases and where they're going, well, maybe your local breaker is just not going to cut it if you're chasing those sorts of cards. But for 98% of people, they can't afford to even go into those breaks, Doma. So, you know, it's a small thing.
Matty says, let's start a breaking page called Mr. Shifty's Legal Breaks. I got Panini and Ken on my speed dial. Well, not
Legit
to gloat,
breaks.
not to gloat, but I do have Ken that I can contact. But I don't know if he really wants to talk to me after the last time I spoke to him. So I didn't accuse him of anything. I insinuated that he had a connection to a certain grading company, which he denied, even that, you know, the owner of that grading company is an investor in his auction house. So,
I mean, he has no connection, Doma. He has zero connection.
You know, anyway, and he may or may not have said something about people in the hobby overall. So, keep buying from him if you think. And I've heard some other interesting things from other people recently about Uncle Ken, about the way cards that don't sell in his auction house may or may not be listed on eBay for sale, and he's been caught out and had to pull them off eBay and question why the cards that were owned by someone else were being sold on behalf of the auction house, saying that they owned it, to then get money to then obviously say that the card sold, pay out the person. I don't know. Anyway.
Shambles, ladies and gentlemen. Global, do you think Select Australia does the same with footy cards?
No.
I don't think so.
Because there's 2,000 boxes, Source. Or 2,000 cases. Was it cases or boxes?
No, there was 8,000 boxes or something.
Well, 8,000 boxes, Source.
Yeah, for Optimum. Something along those lines.
Panini pumps out, I'm going to say, 500,000 boxes plus a year. Maybe even more, 1 million.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see how many Prism hobby boxes or something like that. I mean, I know National Treasures, they're all numbered, the cards, so there is a certain print run on that, and people can work out the cards. Same with certain other products, but where there's not every card is numbered, it's hard to work out.
So Matty Tabe said, so buy boxes from Backyard.
Yeah,
all means, go for it. Yeah,
not
a bad plan. If you're friends with the breakers and they tell you to buy which team because they know the case is loaded, yeah, of course. If you're not friends with them, you can waste your money with them. It's up to you. Hot boxes will eventually come to Australia.
No, there are hot boxes that come to Australia.
We've seen Cherry, MJ, Mailman. We've seen them.
Our boy Anthony hit a big cards in his PSG box, number to 10.
Superfractor, Sergio Ramos.
It is a small minority of the cards. It just happens.
Cut out, mate.
It is a small minority.
You're gone.
What do you mean I'm fucking gone?
Your audio's gone, mate. I don't know what's happened. He's just dropped, and he's meant to be leading the final segment of the show. Is it Saucy? Is it me? Can you hear me? Someone in the chat, please say you can hear me. If not, it's me.
Testing. Test.
No, can't hear.
Hello.
Uh-oh.
All right, I'm back.
We might have to wrap this
Hello?
bad boy up, so
Hello.
I can't hear. Or is it me? I don't know.
What? No? What the fuck?
All good on you. Maybe it's me. Anyway, can you hear me? All good? Probably me.
We can hear you all. It's your shit headphones, mate. They've run out of fucking battery, mate. I told you to get the ones with wire.
I reckon it is, to be honest.
Yeah, it is. Just shit AirPods, mate. This is why you use something with a wire, because it doesn't run out of battery. You're making me thinking I'm a lemon, mate. I'm going, hello. Yeah, Frank Walker is here, mate. And he's selling your tiles, all right?
Stop. Don't call me a lemon, all right? I take offense to that because today is a proud day in the Le Mans because of this guy. All right, but let's just be happy. Johnny Sin's son, Johnny Stones.
Yeah, my hero, Johnny. You're my hero.
Anyway, the last one, we'll end it on a good note, Sauce. I'll lead you in on this one because you had a purge today. Saucy went the purge. If you haven't seen the movie The Purge, it's when they go out there and it's a free-for-all. And he had a free-for-all today, Saucy, with his podcasts, and he went on the purge.
Purged, mate.
And what did you purge? Tell us.
Doma, I went through on my Spotify, I clicked on podcasts and shows, and I went through all the shows that I had. And if you had followed so many hobby content podcasts, and if you had not put a new episode out within the last 3 months, you got the unfollow. I'm not joking, Doma. I reckon I unfollowed 15 at least. So 15 shows that had started in hobby 2020, 2021 are no longer there. They've gone with the wind. They're packed up. They didn't have the goal, the consistency to keep putting in content. Unlike us here at Double Coverage, you rock up every week for 2 years. No worries, ladies and gentlemen. So I feel like giving us a plug if you want to, because consistent content is the name of the game, and we have been consistent as anyone on the planet, and entertaining, may I add. But I purged them, Dom. I got rid of them. I said, that's pathetic. You couldn't keep it up. Not good enough. Got rid of them. Always looking to add a few more. Obviously, I've added a few more on YouTube, but podcast is a bit different. You know, you can do those ones while you're working at the gym. You can do those, you're going for a walk. It's a bit difficult to watch a YouTube video while you're walking around or in the gym and start and doing other activities. So I do like the podcast format. Purged them. Got rid of them. 15 people that started a podcast during the boom are nowhere to be seen. I wonder why, because all their cards are gone down. So they've got nothing to talk about. They've got no prison base cards to pump up now. So look, Doma, it was good to get rid of them. Always looking for new content. If there are any, feel free to.
Are we gonna drop any notable names on there? Do you want to start some beef?
No beef. No beef started. No beef starting.
Any Le Mans? Was there any Le Mans nominees in there potentially?
No. I just unfollowed him, mate. Just unfollowed. No. Just unfollowed. There was a few. There was one in there where he had started one podcast, put out about 12 episodes, and then started another podcast with someone else, put out about 8 episodes, and then quit that. And then he had another podcast. So I was following the same guy 3 times. I unfollowed them all because they've all packed up shop. The same bloke. I mean, he's still in the hobby and he's still active on Instagram, but in terms of content, he's nowhere to be seen. But ladies and gentlemen, that was just a bit of rant. I think there was a lot of people that were, happy to pump up card content and pump out card content when the market was hot. When things aren't so hot, they sort of don't know or may not have too much to talk about, or maybe they're not very creative, or they're just not consistent and don't have the goal to be consistent. So
Maddie says lost their quick jab. No one's as quick as Double Coverage. And Global says if you plug, he's meant to say if I plugged you boys anymore, I'll be walking around with a butt plug.
Oh well. That is a great comment.
Hey, it's always good to know. It's always good to know, Global, that that's the feeling. At least you got some double coverage personal touch when you walk around every day. So that's always good to know. We're with you everywhere in spirit, physically, mentally, sexually. It's all good. We're happy. James says, "Where's Gary V gone? He's on to plush toys sold at Toys R Us these days. And
He's
back
coming
on
to Melbourne, Doma. So we're gonna reach out. We're gonna try. We're gonna try our best, ladies and gentlemen. He's
We've
gonna
got to
be in
message
Melbourne
Lou first.
at some
We've got to
point.
hit up Lou, see what he's doing.
He's gonna be in Melbourne. He's here. The well, I don't even want to give them a plug, but there is a certain company that did bring Shaquille O'Neal and Hasbulla to Australia that is running this. So don't expect much, ladies and gentlemen. It's probably going to be a fucking shambles because that company is a shambles. I'm not going to name them company. You should know who they are. There was a massive outrage over the Shaquille O'Neal event and the Hasbulla event and what people were delivered for what they paid. So yeah, don't expect much. But we'll try to get it done. We'll try to get it done. And we can, then you, ladies and gentlemen, can ask the questions to him yourself. And I mean, if we can do it as a live, we will. If we can't, well, we'll let you know and we'll get your questions from you, the listeners, to ask Mr. Gary V himself. Hopefully, if we can get it sorted. It'd be ideal. But, Doma, that was it. The purge happened today. A lot of hobby content creators are nowhere to be seen, and good riddance of you, ladies and gentlemen. Good riddance of you.
And on that note, keep living, loving, and breathing sport. And as Saucy said, for the last 2.5 years and for the next 250 years, it's double coverage, and we'll be here front and up. It's Doma and Sauce.
Peace.
Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to leave a review on the Apple Podcasting app. Also, follow us on socials, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Talking all sports, double coverage. Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to leave a review on the Apple Podcasting app. Also, follow us on socials, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Talking all sports, double coverage.